They thought she was just another quiet girl they could push around, just another target they could humiliate in front of the whole school, but what they didn't know was that beneath her calm eyes and soft voice lived years of ruthless training, bone-breaking precision, and the kind of fighting instinct that could drop a grown man in 3 seconds flat. This is the story of the day 3 bullies tried to choke out a black girl in the hallway, and learned, in the most brutal way possible, why you never corner a fighter. Stick around to the end, because the twist will hit harder than her knockout punch, and if you want more stories that hit like this one, don't forget to subscribe. It was supposed to be just another ordinary Monday at Jackson High, the kind of day where the fluorescent lights buzzed lazily over rows of gray lockers and the air smelled faintly of cafeteria pizza from 3 hours ago, but for 17-year-old Amara Cole, it was a day she had been dreading since she'd overheard a group of seniors whispering about her in the locker room, laughing about her hair, mocking her accent, and dropping the kind of racial slurs that cut sharper than glass. She had ignored it at first, because ignoring was what she did best, ever since her father, a decorated Marine, taught her that true warriors pick their battles, but that morning something shifted. She saw in their eyes that they wanted a reaction, and she decided she'd give them one, though not in the way they expected. It happened between second and third period, in the crowded hallway where lockers slammed and backpacks bumped shoulders, when Lindsay, the queen bee of the cheer squad with venom in her smile, stepped in front of her and said loud enough for everyone to hear, "Move, gorilla," and the laughter that followed was like 100 knives scraping bone. Amara's fingers curled into fists, but before she could move, 2 of Lindsay's sidekicks, Brianna and Taylor, flanked her, shoving her against the lockers so hard the metal rattled, and then came the chokehold, Brianna's arm looping around her neck, squeezing, the smell of cheap perfume mixing with the copper tang of her own adrenaline. The crowd circled like vultures, phones raised, some chanting, "Fight! Fight!" while others just watched with wide, guilty eyes, and for a split second Amara let them think she was trapped, her breath growing shallow, her knees bending, before she shifted her weight, dropped low, and executed a textbook judo escape, grabbing Brianna's arm, twisting her wrist at an angle nature never intended, and slamming her into the lockers so hard the dent echoed down the hall. Gasps erupted, but Amara wasn't done. Taylor lunged, swinging wildly, but Amara sidestepped, caught her by the hair, and drove her into the floor with a clean double-leg takedown, pinning her with a forearm to the throat while her eyes locked on Lindsay, who suddenly looked like she regretted every decision she'd made that morning. "You have no idea who you're messing with," Amara said, her voice low and dangerous, the kind of tone that silenced even the back row. Lindsay tried to run, but Amara was faster, cutting her off and delivering a spinning back kick that missed her head by an inch, on purpose, just to make her feel the wind and know that she could have ended it right there. The crowd had gone from cheering to dead silent, their phones now shaking as they recorded something no one would believe without proof, and then the twist came, not from the fight, but from the voice at the end of the hallway. "Miss Cole, my office." Now, it was Principal Harris, a man known for his zero-tolerance policy on violence, but as he walked toward them, his eyes flicked to the MMA medal that had fallen from Amara's backpack, and something in his expression changed, because what nobody at Jackson High knew was that Harris had once been a ringside commentator for underground fights, and he recognized her name instantly, remembered the viral clip of a 14-year-old girl in a blood-red GI submitting a grown man twice her size in under 30 seconds. In his office, instead of the suspension she expected, he asked her one question: "Who taught you to fight like that?" And when she told him about her father, about the years of training in their garage gym, about the discipline and the code, he leaned back and said, "I think I can use someone like you." Within a week, she wasn't just a student, she was head of a new self-defense program for the school, teaching kids who'd been bullied to protect themselves, turning fear into power. As for Lindsay, Brianna, and Taylor, they got suspended, but the real punishment was the humiliation. Every phone video of that day went viral, turning them from predators into a cautionary tale, and Amara became a legend, the girl who didn't just fight back, but changed the entire balance of power in the school. Yet the final twist came months later, when Amara walked into her father's old gym one night to find Principal Harris waiting, wearing fighting gloves, and telling her that her training wasn't over, that the bullies were just the beginning, and there were far bigger battles ahead, battles that would test not just her fists but her soul. And as she tightened her gloves and stepped into the ring, she knew this was only round one.